Here's a good one. This wannabe cop thinks he's smarter than the police.
This is 27-year-old Sasha Samsudeen. Sasha was a manager for a real estate company in Orlando, Florida. She had a very bubbly personality, and her strong work ethic added to her charm. Sasha was also smarter than most people gave her credit for, and she quickly became very successful in her line of work.
You what?
She had been so successful that Sasha decided to move into a high-end downtown apartment in Orlando, Florida. On October 17, 2015, Sasha was hanging out with friends at a local nightclub until 12:30 in the morning. She decided to leave and go home alone, and that was the last time anyone ever saw Sasha alive again. The next morning, friends of Sasha began to worry because she was not replying to their calls. Her car was parked in its normal parking spot at her apartment, yet she wouldn't answer her door.
Hi, I need to fill out a missing persons report.
Okay, and where are they missing from? Are they missing from 68 East Pine Street?
No, we went to her apartment to go check.
Okay.
She's there, and she's not.
Okay. Where are you right now?
We're at her apartment at 911 North Orange Avenue.
When the police arrived on scene, they found Sasha's body covered in a blanket lying on her bed. Markings on her neck and body showed the police that Sasha had been murdered. Her purse and her phone were missing, and there was a strong smell of cleaning supplies in the air. What they found interesting was that there were no signs of a break-in, which meant that the killer was either let in or they had a key to her apartment. The apartment building had cameras at all entrances, but because the footage was recorded off-site, it would take several days for the police to gain access. While they waited, they interviewed two women who claimed they had seen Sasha at a nightclub.
Helpful. So to start from the beginning, we were downtown on Friday night, and because we live in that area, we got an Uber. But as we were leaving, it was maybe like Washington Street about, saw her walking by herself, and was very concerned just because she seemed extremely intoxicated. And there was a car of men who had rolled down their window and started to talk to her. So I walked up and kind of took her arm and said, like, do you know where you're going? And, you know, is there someone we can call for you? Is there anything, you know? And you could tell she didn't really know what was going on.
Man.
And so at that moment, though, we were like, you're not going to be out here by yourself. And so got her to get into an Uber with us. Because we said, where do you live? And then also trying to be, you know, like not a stranger to her because I didn't want her to feel threatened. Said, well, we live at Nora, you know, and she said, I live there too. I don't know if you live there, but
You didn't have her ID or anything, like, in her bag?
Didn't have a phone, anything like that. So
you guys did bring her back up to the...
So, it's crazy how it worked out then. So we get to the red light at Orange and
Not a very long interview. It should be over soon, hopefully.
She, like, left out of the car and ran.
Maybe the other interrogation room has a better mic.
So she's like, this is where I live. We're like, oh, well, then that's perfect. Like, she didn't remember enough to tell us, but she recognized it when she saw it. And so with all this, we're like, yeah, it's probably really important that we talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It appeared that Sasha had been extremely intoxicated after leaving the nightclub, but the police were able to confirm that not only did she arrive at her building safe and sound, she also arrived alone. The police would eventually gain access to the surveillance footage. The footage confirmed that Sasha was indeed alone as she walked up the stairs to her apartment. The tapes also revealed that 20 minutes after Sasha would have entered her apartment, she is seen running up another flight of stairs. A few seconds after she reaches the top, the video shows a security guard following her up the stairs. The police looked into the security guard and found that his name was Stephen Duxbury. They believed he might have more information on what happened to Sasha, so they brought him in for an interview.
When was the last time you saw, what's her name?
I think, well, I know because I saw the news stuff, but it's like Sasha something or other.
Okay, Sasha. Okay.
The mic could be worse.
When was the last time you had
contact with her?
Yeah, what was it, the night before?
Yeah, it was Friday night.
Okay, so when you first had contact with her on Friday night,
yep.
What was the situation?
I had been doing a perimeter patrol, and I had come upon 3 girls that were at the Marks and North Orange entrance, and, looked like they were trying to get inside
a perimeter patrol.
Evening, ladies, having an issue with the thing, and then, I'm kind of chuckling because I see that happen all the time with the drunks. Well, as I'm starting to walk off, then I get called over by 2 of the ladies. And they told me that that this was their friend, and they really didn't know her. found her wandering around downtown somewhere in kind of a drunken, stupor. I mean, the way she was moving, she looked.
Yeah, it sounds like a mic from like a PS2 game.
And I guess they
Very
got
true.
her where she lived, so they brought her to Uptown, but she didn't have her key fob with her. She didn't have her keys. She didn't even have any ID. And I'm like, well, if she doesn't have any of that, I cannot help her. I cannot allow her into the building based on what my policies are.
Right.
Well, as I'm talking to them, another resident, a male, an older gentleman, comes up.
I got to pee super bad, guys. I'll be back really fast.
He's like, "You guys
Not
are
10
all
minutes.
robbers, are you?" I'm like, "No, sir." And, kind of looking at my uniform. And he's like, "Okay." Opens the door, walks in, she follows. Finish talking with the ladies, I go in, intent on, finding where this girl is to make sure that, she actually is supposed to be here. She's not just wandering around the building. Well, she was just wandering around the building for a while. Finally, I guess she gets to her apartment, 345, and she's trying to enter in the code because she's got one of those digital deadbolt things with the buttons on the outside where you can enter in a code. And
Now, how did you find her on the third floor?
I patrolled. I checked the buildings. I checked the floors.
So how did she get up there? Do you know?
Either elevator or stairs. There are, multiple. There are 2 different elevators and 4 different stairwells in the building.
So you don't know how she got up there, but you were just patrolling and you come across her on the third floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's doing that, and, it's like, I cannot let someone just hang around in the building, trying, outside their apartment, if, say if they got locked out, and I didn't know exactly what to do because, she's obviously intoxicated. I mean, completely gone.
So have you ever seen her before?
No, never.
Never seen her before?
No, actually, at first I thought she was a different female who we've had issues with that the local police over there are actually familiar with because she's had other issues where she's gone home with guys completely out of her mind drunk and I guess called them because they're like, oh my God, this guy, I don't know where I am. I'm in this guy's bathroom.
But this is not her?
No, this is not her, no.
Oh, okay.
Now that one lives in, I think, 320. I actually had to deal with that apartment twice because first time she got locked out, second time she locked her roommate out. But so she thought maybe she'd left her keys in her car, so she asked me if I would bring her to the parking garage because since she doesn't have a key fob, she wouldn't be able to get back into the building. So I'm like, sure, whatever. I've dealt with this before with other drunks who have done stuff like that. So I walk out with her, and before we can get to a car, she's like, wait, I think I remember the number now. So we go back in.
A lot of mansplaining.
To the door, she's there.
Yeah, sounds like he's really trying to gas up his job.
Remember what it is, and I'm just thinking to myself, God damn it. Not exactly the smartest, or not the smartest, but the most professional way to be thinking this, but I have to babysit a lot of trucks.
He's following her around, right? That's what I got from his
okay, look,
explanation.
I'm gonna leave you here. Keep trying to, plug away at this. When I come back, if you have not figured this out, we're gonna have to do something about this, which is either she's gonna have to figure out, somehow get a hold of her friend, or I'm going to be calling the PD and have them deal with her. When I come back around after walking around, she's not there. So I'm like, okay, she must be in the building. She must have gotten in, because I checked the building, there was no sign of her.
Now, do you have a residence log so you know who lives in what apartment? So you can confirm?
But I can't because she had no idea.
But can't she tell you what her name is and you can look it up and make sure?
Yeah, well, I could have done that. When they were going through the call box initially, she said what her name was, and it did come up on the log. I remember that now. But without her phone to dial herself in, she wouldn't have been able to access the building anyway.
Right.
But plus, most of the residents there will not let some random person into the building. They will actually just know you come in with whoever you're supposed to be coming with, or you call them up. They will not just let people in. So when that gentleman let her in, I assumed, oh, he knows that she lives here. And then later on in the evening during my patrol, I thought I saw her again with some guy.
You thought you saw the same girl with some guy?
I mean, I didn't really get a good look at her face, but the height, the hair, and the skin color was about the same thing. And again, like I said, I'd never seen this woman before, so.
Was she wearing the same clothes?
Well, the pants were, I think, the same, but I think she had changed her top to a white top or something. Again, they weren't doing anything that was really out of the ordinary, so I just kind of glanced at them and just continued on my patrol.
The surveillance footage would match Stephen's statement. However, he claimed that
Wait, isn't there some bit with Tim Robinson now with this hat? He's like, oh, it looks real.
He had seen Sasha with a mystery man a few hours after he helped her get into her apartment. The video footage did not show Sasha leaving again, but the mystery man could have come to her apartment to see her. The police looked into her phone records and found that she had sent a text message to an ex-boyfriend. His name was Benjamin Roebuck, and she texted him 3 hours after she left the nightclub. With little else to go on, Benjamin was brought in for questioning.
You big drum guy, huh?
Yeah. How'd you know that?
Come on, we know everything about you guys. Come on. Yeah. No, I saw your Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because one of the things we do in these cases, we'll check the victim's social media. So I saw Facebook, and somehow or other somebody had said that you were, because we asked about who she was dating and stuff, and they mentioned your name from way back in the day.
Yeah.
Nothing bad, trust me.
Yeah.
But so I looked. I saw. Yeah. Are you a Gator?
Oh yeah.
And so she was a Gator too,
Yeah,
Sasha, right?
Yeah, we went to school at the same time.
He's a Gator too. He's
Okay.
gonna like you.
Yeah.
So you played drums.
Yeah, I was on the drum line there for a couple years.
It's pretty hard, right? I mean, drum line there,
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not that easy.
They do all the hazing and stuff up there, and the.
They did.
The initiation
they cut
stuff.
it off because it was getting people were starting to report and all that. And so.
That's part of it. That's I'm kind of torn on that because you don't see him get hurt, but that's like part of
Right.
the. When you look back and you go,
I can't look at checks. I mess it up.
It makes it special. It's not just anybody.
The 3-monitor problem.
Instruments and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I play drums every so often. I've been making more music kind of on my computer and stuff lately.
That's a big thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
The music on the computers, man. So I like it's like not really like techno kind of stuff, but what do they call it? Down tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started listening to that.
All kinds of good stuff out there. Music is changing.
I try. Well, I like that.
I sure do love rapport building.
07. This movie Garden State's Zach Brent.
Sure.
But he had a couple good songs in that soundtrack.
That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah. So you'll know if you hear it, you'll know which one it is. So.
At this point, the detectives believe that Benjamin could be their guy, so they treat the interview like a criminal interrogation. They start off by being friendly with their suspect to gain his trust.
The last person seen with the person, yeah. Might make sense as to why they think that.
What do you mean? Depends on how it's locked.
Sasha's
Sasha's
her
code?
No, I don't. No, I wish. Because there's not much you can do to get past that. You're talking about the 4 digits?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to erase it. That's the only way.
God, it's the same room with that tinnitus ass sound. Guys, do I look cool?
Do you know who this is?
Yes,
What is happening, Keck?
Do I look cool?
Who is that person?
Sasha Samsudine.
How cool do I look?
You know Sasha.
Sasha and I went to high school together.
I bet I look fucking sick. I can't even look over because I'm gonna move it.
Still friends and acquaintances up until.
I don't want to ruin the cool, so I'm not gonna move.
And you guys used to date?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your relationship? I know she's deceased, but what was your relationship prior to her death?
Yeah, I mean, we'd hang out every so often.
What the?
Downtown.
That doesn't say cool. What the hell?
Sometimes, if I was having a tough day, she'd give me some advice, and we'd hang out and talk, and so we were close friends. She was there to support me when I needed it, and vice versa. So, yeah.
When was the last time you've seen her?
I saw her Thursday night. We went out downtown.
And you haven't seen her since Thursday night?
Correct.
Okay. When's the last time you spoke to her?
I received a message from her at 5:12 a.m. on Saturday morning. That was are you talking about on the phone or?
This is getting ridiculous.
On the phone or text message?
Yeah, text message. The last kind of back and forth.
Ether, put the 2 GB hot dog.
Morning, but I got a message from her at 5:12 a.m. Just said my name, and then I responded about.
Get him in here.
2 minutes later, and I never heard back from her after that.
I'm getting hungry.
Saturday morning.
Again, we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't ask. We have to ask.
2 GB? Yeah, we used it. Whoa! Whoa! Look at that dog! Yeah! Ah! Nom 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 nom.
Your phone won't show you at that building at all.
The detectives were able to confirm Benjamin's alibi, and the camera footage they had proved that he had never entered the building that night.
The way it rose up into the
detectives
screen
decided
is
to watch
so
the footage
funny.
again to see if they missed anything.
Wow.
That's when they noticed that Steven, the security guard, was walking out of the building after his shift, carrying 2 white trash bags with red handles. Those same trash bags had been inside Sasha's apartment, so the question was, what was Steven doing with those bags?
Not weird at all.
The police wondered if the man that had been helping them this entire time could be the murderer, so they brought him in for a polygraph test.
And so the next day, what time did you leave that day?
I leave about, well, I get off shift at 6 a.m., but usually I don't leave till like 20, 30 minutes later because of finishing up my report, changing.
Bring out the 2 gigabyte hot dog is such a powerful statement.
Crash out to the dumpster because I found some after I turned in my report. So I figured, okay, I'll just throw it away.
Without being asked, Steven makes sure to explain why he was carrying the trash bags out the morning after Sasha's life was taken. He also says that he usually stays a half hour after work, which is not true.
And where did you find the trash?
That was in the hallway. It was on the 2nd floor. So about like 3 bags worth.
Do you remember what apartment it was in front of?
No, unfortunately I don't. I just, as I was walking through, I saw, I'm like, I'm on my way out anyway.
Do you normally do that, or?
I just saw it on the way out. I mean, if I'm on duty, I take snapshots of it and I leave it there, let the office deal with it, but I was already off duty and I wasn't going to just fill out a whole new report just for 3 bags of trash, so I just said, screw it. It'll be nice for the housekeeping person, I'll just throw it away for them.
Alright, and so there was 3 bags of trash?
Yep.
Genius.
Did you look in and see what it was or anything like that?
No, they were tied off and I just grabbed them and threw them.
Definitely not body parts. Or evidence. Probably not body parts, they found her body.
Oh, like regular?
It's
regular trash bags.
definitely not evidence, guys.
Red drawstring things or whatever.
Okay, and you took them out
to the dumpster.
To the dumpster?
Yeah.
And you did that on your way out to leave, or did you take that out?
I took them out, and I came back in to get my stuff, and then I left.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I was heading towards where I leave my stuff, and then I saw that, so I was like, screw it, threw it away, came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before giving Steven the test, the examiner wants to make sure that Steven does not know how Sasha died. At this point, the police have not made her cause of death public, so there's no reason why Steven would know how she died.
Okay, so you have no idea what her cause of death is? No.
That is zero subtlety. Zero subtlety there. Could have tried to catch him, but okay.
Okay, never overheard anybody say anything about that, or you have any speculation as to how she may have passed?
No.
Okay.
I mean, other than, like I said, what they told me, I mean, as bad as it sounds, I kind of hope it was, she just died of alcohol poisoning, because if not, it's like,
How old was she?
I don't know.
Guesstimation?
In her 20s, maybe?
Wow, that young?
I mean, it could be mid to late 20s, I don't know. I'm terrible at judging ages. I mean, when I first met my mother-in-law, I thought she was in, her mid to late 50s. Turns out she's almost 80 years old.
Wow.
Wow, is that a Sneegsnag plushie from makeshift.com?
They look young forever, or they turn ancient in a heartbeat. And my wife is actually...
I yeehawed too hard.
Yeah, well, God bless her.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yo!
Okay. As the test is
He
about
is looking
to begin,
stylish.
the examiner notices that Steven's heart rate is very high, so he questions him about this.
This will be all right. Question for you, though.
Yes.
What is your normal heart rate?
I have no idea.
How the fuck would he know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been noticing, like,
yeah, it's 70 BPM.
Yeah, it was like 138.
Yeah, that's what they were getting towards the end of my career in the military. Even when I went to the VA, it was kind of high.
For a resting heart rate?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is your guys' resting heart rate?
Mine. Sasha was poisoned?
No.
Currently.
Was shot with a .22?
No.
Was stabbed?
No.
Hold on.
86.
As soon as Steven answers no to that question,
from all the caffeine,
the examiner watches his vital signs shoot up across the screen. As we discussed before, there is no way Steven would have known what happened to Sasha.
True.
Yeah, it's turning purple.
Like I said, test lasts about
5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the coffee for sure.
Heart rate's so high.
I'm buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
My usual is like 70, I think.
I know that heart disease runs in my family, and hopefully this isn't a precursor.
The examiner prints out the heart rate graphs to show Stephen that the only times that his heart rate spiked was when he was answering relevant questions to the case. These were the 4 basic questions. Do you know who killed her? Did you enter her apartment? Did she die from strangulation? Did you kill her?
I let you look at the charts. I let you tell me what jumped out of the screen off the charts at you.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
So
Got something on the side, either on the left side.
The only thing that really seems to be bothering you
Is that a glitch? Do I need to fix
on
that?
this test is these relevant questions that pertain to the situation that we're here dealing with. So, but the thing is...
So, true, lie detectors ain't shit. The thing with this is not a lot of people know that lie detectors ain't shit. The police still use it as an intimidation tactic, but legally, it's not admissible in court. It cannot be used as evidence. The police can use it in an interrogation to press the witness. A prosecuting attorney can't be like, well, he failed his polygraph when he was asked a question about the crime, therefore guilty. It can't be used as hard evidence to charge somebody. But the police can use it against the witness to try to like, to badger them, to try to like snap, you know what I mean? To try to like give out.
When it comes to this,
it unfortunately works.
You know, obviously,
sometimes.
My report's going to say that you didn't do too good on this test.
Yeah.
All right, and I have to explain that.
Utility technique.
Okay. So, you know, I'm here to listen to you. If you want to talk and explain to me why you might have had some issues on these questions. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much used to fuck with the witness.
And then you panicked because maybe, from what I understand, she was being very flirtatious to other people, and that's what got her there to the apartment, because those 2 girls grabbed her before she got in the car with some guys. And
I don't know about that.
No, I know you don't know, but that happened before she got to the uptown. Okay, these girls didn't even know her, and that's why they told you.
Yeah.
We don't even know her. But what happened is they snatched her up and they got her away from those guys because she was being very, very flirtatious. Okay. And so, you know, based on this, there's something going on here. Okay. And so maybe she somehow talked you into coming in. Well, the chart's saying that you did. This is huge. And this is, did you enter her apartment?
No, I didn't.
All right, well.
I mean, the only thing, honestly, the situation is bothering me. I mean, about the whole thing about her. I mean, I'll be straight up. This whole situation has been bothering me, and just thinking about what may have happened is just...
And I understand that, but that's why I was very clear about clearing that up before we took the test.
I know.
All right? Because that was very important.
Yep.
And that's why I kind of did the first test first, to get that out of the way, explain to you and clear those issues up. All right? So that's very important. And because I wanted you to take the best test possible. Okay, that was my goal.
Yep.
And I think I succeeded in that.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying not to think of anything, just answer the questions, but...
And you yourself was able to pick out every spot that looked like a reaction.
Yep.
I didn't even have to point them out to you. Okay?
I'm good at analyzing patterns.
Okay. Well, without even being a polygraph examiner, you were able to show me each question you had an issue with. And every single one of them on every single chart was the relevant questions. So that means there's something there. There's something that you're not telling the complete truth about. Something's bothering you about this situation, and you're not being 100% honest with me about it. That's what I can tell you, and that's all I can tell the detectives, that there is something there that you're not being 100% honest about. Now, if she invited you in to have a few drinks...
Cop is being honest here. That is all he can do. He can't do anything with this.
You need to be honest about it because...
Can you deny a polygraph? Yeah. They'll try to say that it makes you look guilty, but yeah, you can deny a polygraph. They can't force you to take a lie detector. They'll spin it as if you have nothing to hide. There's nothing wrong with taking it. They spin it in a way that makes it seem like it's in your best interest to do it. But yeah, they can't make you take it.
This is saying you know something, and that something happened. This is what this is telling me. And you yourself agreed that these were the situations.
It's something that points out, but I mean...
And like I said, sometimes things happen. If she was over flirtatious and something
Yeah, they
happened,
can't use it as a way to, they can't use you refusing it as
If
evidence.
you conceal that,
They can use it as a way to press you, but it's not actual evidence.
talk about it, it's not going to look good because
It's a method that the police used to use as evidence, and so like it's happened enough times that people think it's still evidence. If they were to use it, the opposing lawyer could just cite every single study that's disproven or proven the inaccuracy of lie detectors and just completely dismantle the argument. I mean, like I said, it's not easy to fake it, but it's not impossible, and it's been done enough times for people to be like, this isn't an effective method.
if it was an accident, that's one thing that we can explain away. But if you don't talk about it, and it comes back, it makes it look like you're, what, a monster. Okay? And I don't think you're that kind of person.
Nothing happened. I mean, I never went into her apartment. So, I mean, I don't know why it reacted the way it did.
Because your autonomic system that you can't control kicked in. You have no control over that. That's why this works so well.
After the examiner shows Steven the mechanics behind the test and then explains that they know he's being deceitful, the detectives that are trained in interrogation techniques enter the room.
So, now I'll let you guys talk. Are you okay, Steven?
Well, not anymore, based on what this thing is telling me.
Steven, I've been doing this for a while. And I really don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. But sometimes good people do bad things. Does not make you a bad person. Sometimes you just overreact, or sometimes you could be enticed into doing something. One thing we're asking from you, Steven, is just the truth. It's just the truth. Okay? That's difficult for a lot of people. But you've been in the military. You have a lot of life experience. And I understand some bad things have happened to you in life.
Yep.
And lying is never going to make it better. Because I can see it in your eyes, Steve. I can see it in your eyes. Something has been laying heavy on your heart ever since you found out. It's been laying heavy on your heart. Have you thought about anything else?
Just that something bad's happened on my watch.
Something bad has happened.
If she'd asked me to come inside the apartment, I would have told her no.
But this is the problem. According to what I'm looking
Did she ask though?
But I've been asked by other residents in the past too to come into their apartments, and I've also told them no. I had
Wow,
one
so noble.
offer me sexual favors, and I declined. The only person who knows that other than me is my supervisor, because we didn't want to embarrass the resident because he was drunk at the time, or possibly just lonely and maybe tipsy. I don't know. But I take my job seriously, and when my job says I'm not allowed to go into someone's apartment, I don't go into someone's apartment. The only time I would ever go into someone's apartment is with a detective like yourself, or a police officer, or an EMT or something, someone that I have to go in with because, doing something within my duties. Whereas...
So how do we explain this?
I don't know. I am bothered by the situation, I will tell you that, because something has happened to someone in a building that I'm responsible for, that I'm supposed to keep everyone safe in. Yes, I've been bothered by this since the moment I saw and heard about the situation.
Good argument.
It's been bothering me. I've been having a hard time sleeping because of this. I've been terrified of what's going to happen when I go to work tonight because I know I'm going to be having residents asking me questions. I might even have newspaper people trying to corner me. This whole thing is bothering me. And I knew this was going to end up happening because this is not the first time I've had police.
He's doing a pretty good job of playing stupid despite opening his fucking mouth.
I know you take your job seriously. I believe you. I can see the way you carry yourself, the way you are there, a little bit that we saw you do take your job seriously. We looked at your reports. You're very serious. Methodical, what you think?
Yeah.
Meticulous.
Yes.
Don't miss anything.
Try not to.
For the most part, you would say you don't, right?
Yeah.
You document things. Don't miss anything. you see a violation or something happens, you notate on your records, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, with that being said, we have an issue.
Okay.
Okay. What garbage did you take out that day?
Some trash I found on my way out after I turned in my report.
Where did you find it?
I think it was on the second floor.
On the second floor?
Yeah.
It's on what apartment?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
That's happened to you before?
What, not remembering? Or
No, finding trash.
Yeah, usually I find it during my shift.
And what do you do with it?
Usually I just document it.
When was the last time you took trash out?
Usually don't, because when it's on my shift, I just deal with it.
Where was your car parked?
On the second floor.
Okay. And you said you were on your way out?
Yes.
But you came back in?
Yeah, because I had to get my stuff, and then I went back out and left.
So you weren't really on your way out?
I was on my way to get my stuff.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
So, we have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't report that, did you?
No, it was already after my shift was over.
But it's still a violation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody violated, and you never mentioned it?
No, it was off my shift.
I understand that. I'm not saying it wasn't, but still, you say you document things, you don't miss things, right?
Yeah, once on my shift.
Right. So you understand how that's starting to look?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Right. Okay.
Since the investigation began, not once has Steven asked what happened to Sasha. He knows she died, and he knows they are investigating a homicide, but he has yet to ask how she died.
Steven, I have an issue with something else too. I'm going to tell you. I look at human behavior.
I mean, he's being accused of doing it. I'm sure he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
self-preserving at the moment.
We've been doing this for a long time.
It is fair that he's not asked a single fucking thing, though.
Everybody that we've spoken to about this case has asked us several questions. What happened? How? When? You've never asked any of it.
No.
I don't understand
I
that.
don't want to know.
Why not?
Because I don't want to find out that something happened on my shift that I could have prevented had I been around. And then that's going to eat away at me for the rest of my life.
What else could it be? What do you think? You're kind of on our side of it.
I wonder if he's the actual guy or not. I mean, he's playing it off really well. I mean, he's definitely the guy, but he's playing it off really well. I mean, he's doing a really good job of playing stupid. That's for sure.
I'm just saying. We have to be, we have to
No, I understand. That's you guys' job.
Well, it's just something we look at. So now you've got these garbage bags that you didn't report to anybody. You're taking them out to the second floor. Where
excuse me.
The dumpster's there, but your car's there too. Okay. There's things missing. Right?
Okay.
We looked at certain things match up, and there's holes in your statements. Every time we talk to you, there's more and more and more that comes out, and that just gives us a lot of pause.
It's not really true.
Can we at least agree?
Otherwise, they would have done something by now.
I did not go inside of her apartment.
There's a lot of physical evidence.
Even after she invited you in?
Yeah, he was the security guard at the apartment she died at.
So you know there's audio. There's audio. We can hear you too.
She didn't invite me into her apartment. And if we're going to continue on this line of discussion, I think we're done here for now. Then I'm going to go home, I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to go to work. If you guys want to talk to me again some other time, we'll have a lawyer involved, because at this point, I don't feel comfortable talking with you detectives. Because it sounds to me like you're trying to make me say something, like I did something and I did not.
We want the truth is all we want.
Well, you have the truth. I'm sorry that some of my
Probably one of the
stuff has
first
been kinda
smart
spotty.
suspects we've seen almost the entire time I've done this.
Some key details, or even minor details that look really bad when they're not told. But I have told you everything. I've been more than cooperative. I mean, I even told you yesterday that I wasn't familiar, and I'm not kind of nervous about these things. I still came in today.
You did.
Now I'm looking at this. Now I'm seeing this as a mistake to come in for this, because now it just makes it look like I did something, because obviously I'm bothered by the situation. There was a dead person that I saw in the building I'm responsible for the security of.
But one thing I can't do, Stephen, is change the result.
I know, no,
you do understand that.
No, I understand that.
No, I understand you've already said that.
I'm very interested in how this ends up.
Yeah, I do understand that, and I respect that. But you have to know, this isn't going away.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
I'm looking at it now.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I wish it was the other way around.
After Stephen left, the police were able to get a court order for his DNA and his fingerprints. His prints would match the 2 prints found in Sasha's apartment.
Well, that's stupid.
And his DNA matched the DNA found on Sasha's body. The police would look into Stephen's phone, and they found that he had made a Google search during a shift the night Sasha's life was taken.
My God.
Each apartment in the building could either be accessed by a key or by using a pin pad. Stephen was searching the internet, looking for a way to bypass the pin pad on Sasha's door. Needless to say, Stephen was found guilty of first-degree murder, and he will be spending the rest of his life in prison.
Now, like, all things considered, he played off that interrogation really well. Had he not had any of that other stuff, it would have been hard. They don't have anything to go off of. They don't. You can't detain or arrest somebody because he was carrying trash bags that, I mean, the police could, but the argument that he did it because he was carrying trash bags that they also had is a pretty shaky statement, given the fact that, like, trash bags are pretty widely available. And, like, you could argue that if the victim had those trash bags and got them from a local source, somebody else in the apartment building could have easily gone to the same store for the same trash cans because they have the same layout. So, yeah, well, I mean, DNA and phone evidence, that's an L for you, bud.